So I'm 24 years old and I've never had my own room before. When I was younger, I always shared it with my brothers, and even through college I always had roommates. So when I finally got my own room, being this one, I had to go crazy on it, being a video editor and whatnot. And so I'm gonna show you how we went from this setup in my older videos to the setup we have now. Check it out. And make sure to hit that like button because as a small YouTuber trying to grow, it truly helps. And if you're new here, welcome to a new era. We do camera tips, filmmaking techniques, cool tech, and even a little bit of dance. So if you're into that, consider subscribing because I'd love to have you. So we'll start on this side with the closet and then kind of work our way over to this gear area right here. And let's go, starting off with the closet. Well, as you walk in, you could see an awesome Blaziken poster because Blaziken is my boy. We have clothes. Oh, and some Lego cars that are like 15 years old. If you want to check them out, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Some more clothes. Oh yeah, and we got the Hitachi Akatsuki little getup right here. And then we even have a smoke machine, and I actually threw that in the room once and tried it out, but I totally forgot about the alarms and that didn't go so well. So unfortunately, none of that, at least in the house. Now let's talk about the video editing setup right there. It's where I spend most of my time. Let's start off with the nano leaves. We got a $200 design for only 9 panels, which is honestly a little bit overpriced, but it's definitely super sick, and you can adjust all these colors. And then we have the softbox, so that's what I use to film my YouTube videos, and I'm gonna be using that for editing tutorials, so stay tuned. And then we also have this like $80 gaming chair. It feels super comfortable, it feels super nice, and it's not $400 like most chairs. And onto like the actual PC that I use for my video editing, we have this right here. It's a Ryzen 7 8-core processor. Then we have the Dell Ultra Sharp 4K 27-inch monitor. This is the monitor I use for all my video editing. It's super color accurate. And then we also have this one right here, which is basically a monitor that my friend donated. It's not very good in terms of editing quality just because it's not very accurate, but it is just a second monitor to put up like tutorials and whatnot, or even just watch my cool little animated wallpaper. And then we have the keyboard right here. It's just a typical keyboard, nothing crazy. A friend donated that to me as well. And then we do have this cool Logitech G402 mouse. To me, it just makes me feel like a real editor, you know what I'm saying? Now as for wiring, you guys can see what seems like a lot of wiring around. I did try to go for that super clean, you can't see any sort of wiring out here type look, but it just felt a little too unnatural, and I kind of like this rustic tech vibe that goes on with just the wiring showing a little bit. And it seems a little disorganized, but it is very organized. I even have like my iPhone cable right here so that I can easily, on top of just putting extra video right here, I can kind of just put whatever YouTube video or whatnot on my phone as well, just to even add more efficiency or video stuff. And moving down under so you can see the wiring. The whole idea here was that while you can see wiring up top just to give it a little bit more of a real vibe, this was supposed to be hidden. At least when you walk in the door, you should not be able to see any wiring underneath the tables. I didn't like that at all. So that's what I did here. I kind of just put all these little Velcro straps around all of these so they stay tight and put together, and then basically just put whatever I needed here. What's really awesome about these particular power strips is that they actually have USB ports too, and that's actually how I have my iPhone charger cable up there, and anything else I would need, I just kind of put in the USB port too. So instead of just typical 5 big outlets, you also have 3 extra USB outlets, which is super convenient. As for the desk itself, it's pretty straightforward. It's all IKEA stuff. You can see this gray slab that was just a tabletop. Then we have these extendable legs right here, which is super nice. Hopefully you guys can see that right there. You can go to whatever height you want. And then that's the same thing I did by adding the desk risers on top of these drawers right here. We just had these so I can adjust this to standing level. Honestly, the desk is a little too high with these risers, so you might want to get lower risers if you do decide to get risers on like a drawer, should you go for this kind of general IKEA setup. I got 6 inches, you should probably get like 3. And then This is just your typical IKEA drawer set. Now let's take a look what's actually inside the drawers. For the first one, I kind of just keep the LED lights around the room and the RGB lights around the room. This is where the remotes are, my handy dandy notebooks and things like that, my keys, watch, whatever. And then we have like typical office stuff and extra wires for like phones and other things. Now we have just typical office wear, staplers, rulers, etc., tape. Then we have the toolbox one, some extra big wires for computers and whatnot, and then just the toolbox. And then this is all the room type gear, so this is for all the extra light bulbs, all the extra LED lights and things of that nature. Also, I forgot to mention, we do keep my laptop in this little slit right here, so my work laptop is just easily accessible right there. My favorite thing about this desk setup though has to definitely be the LED strip lights. They're the Govee LED strip lights right here. You basically just tape them on along the edges of the room and you come back around to here, not the edges of the room, the edges of the desk. And you kind of get this cool, immaculate vibe. It pairs really well with the nano leaves here. Actually, let me turn these off for you so you can see how well it goes together. And you kind of just create your own workspace. Usually I have just the nano leaves and the LED lights on when I'm working because you don't really need the rest of all this, at least for me, to just keep a good light balance and a good workflow going. And in this amazing corner right here is my bed and the window and this empty wall. Stay tuned till the end of this video to kind of find out what the next video is about. It's gonna have to do with this wall right here. And underneath this bed though, I keep all my extra production gear. So we have, well, my water bottle that I keep next to my bed right there. And then these Quasar light tubes that I use for like bigger productions and things of that nature. And this bag that I use to carry around the bigger production stuff like extension cords, some more RGB lights that I would use in like music video-esque / cool photo type stuff. And that's pretty much it for this corner, except just I keep my camera bag right here. Well, I'm using the tripod, but usually that'd be attached to my camera bag. And then this is for next week's video. This corner over here is actually the TV area. It's where I'll keep all my video gaming, and you know, that's where I watch all the good stuff. And so we have this lamp, and basically what I did here is I just appropriated a normal lamp and just put some RGB bulb on it. So it looks pretty cool. I like it in orange to kind of contrast the blue that we have in the room. This is a snowboard one of my old roommates just happened to give to me because he wasn't using it. I was like, hey, maybe I can use it for wall decoration in the future, and there it is, doing exactly what I thought it would. I was actually gonna put it up at like a cool angle on the wall, but it just feels nicer against the wall like that. And then we have the TV donated by my friend. I wall mounted this by myself so you can actually see these walls because I was trying to learn how to put the wood studs in, but I couldn't freaking find the dang wood stud, and so I just kept drilling holes, and then it was actually in between on this one right here, and so I just actually was drilling around the damn stud the whole dang time. And the same thing as we did with the desk over here, you could see the LED strips. Same thing with the TV, we kind of just taped LED strips around the TV, as you can see right here, just to give it a little bit more of a vibe and add to the room. So yeah, and actually one last thing, my good old Switch right here, Breath of the Wild, one of my favorite games of all time, and you know I had to have that playing in the back. Last but not least is this area right over here, and it's basically just my camera gear area for camera gear that I use but can't fit in my camera bag. I just kind of keep them nicely out over here, as well as just like the generic charger ports for everything, so I don't have to keep reaching in. It has the same wiring situation as the desk. We just kind of keep it hidden under the desk, and then it also comes out around here, so we can also put like the bigger plugs right in this one right here. Now on top of the desk, we actually have this amazing Hitachi poster, because you know we rep the Uchiha clan in this house. Up there, just sitting very nicely. It's from display and it's metal, so it feels so legit. And then we have this floating shelf, which I was gonna decorate a bit more, but then I realized I don't have enough camera gear that I don't use. It's all in my camera bag to actually make this look cool, so I just put the DJI Mavic Air 2 box there, some colognes, the aperture light that I might use every now and then to to light up my scenes, or even just nicely light up whatever thing I'm trying to do at whatever shoot. And then we just have this camera cleaning kit. Same thing with this RGB bulb right here. We did with the lamp over there. It's just a reappropriated lamp. You can see nothing too crazy, nothing fancy. Didn't have to pay anything, to be honest. And that's pretty much it for this area right here. But one last thing that kind of makes this room a whole vibe is this boy right here, my amp that I found after like 10 years. It was just there and it still works. With this amp as well, we also have a lot of good space in the middle right here. And you know, your boy loves to freestyle, loves to move, if you know what I'm saying. And so there's gonna be some awesome dance videos coming out of this room as well, in terms of like the quick little shorts that just kind of are creative video visuals. So that pretty much covers this whole room. Honestly, for my first room, I think it's pretty good, but I can already tell when I get my own place, because all of this is set up to be portable, when I get my own real long-term place, I'm gonna basically just have my own creative studio, and this is kind of just the rough draft for all of that. So if you haven't already, make sure you guys click the subscribe button down below, because in next week's video, what we're gonna do, you remember that empty wall, the one above the bed head, we're actually gonna make a cool tech-esque design you can put up, and you're gonna see how that's done. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. Peace.